Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday, everyone, to Just the Tip. We are currently in season 3, episode 7. My gosh, I can't believe we are almost done with this season already. So, today's episode is the second to last episode of the season. Next week, we will be having our final episode of the season. So, um, while we're waiting for everyone to join us, let's just go ahead and dive into what today's topic is. I'm sorry that you missed us last week. We didn't do a show last week, but we are glad to be back today. And today we are talking about something that I think hits home for a little bit of everybody. Pain. Pain is, for lack of a better word, a teacher. It's usually uninvited. Hey, hey, what's going on with you, Octavius?
Hey, what's going on? I'm
I'm
on
just
parade to be on vacation.
Yes, yes. I had the grand time on vacation. Lord, I didn't want to come back. Let's
Mm-hmm.
see. Let's see if I can bring Darius on because I see he's trying to come on. But yeah, I was just letting the audience
Right.
know, hey kid, how you doing?
Yo,
I was letting the audience know what we're talking about today. Um, as I was letting everybody know, pain is a teacher that is usually uninvited, unfiltered, and unforgettable. Power Power is a choice that we usually do have. It's intentional, it's cultivated, and it's reclaiming. Every struggle that we all go through, it normally carries a seed. So that's what today's conversation is based on. It's based on learning how to plant that seed, taking our losses and turning them into the lemons that we can make lemonade with. So that's what we're doing today. All right, all right. So before we jump into that, how's everybody been? Did y'all miss it last week?
Yeah. So as far as me, I definitely missed it last week, but I got a chance to kind of rest a little bit and kick it with the fam. So it's always a good time over here.
That's what's up. That's what's
Mm-hmm.
up. Darius, how have you been, son?
shit, same shit, different day. The grind don't stop.
And the bills don't pay themselves.
Exactly.
All right. Well, as y'all know, I was on vacay. And like I said, I ain't want to come back. Lord, if y'all ever get the chance to go to the DR, the Dominican Republic, y'all should definitely go. It is amazingly beautiful there.
I'm just glad you didn't go to Mexico. Amen.
Yeah, yeah.
Amen.
Can't do that right now. Not right now. Maybe in the future, but right now, no. But while we are waiting, I'm not sure if Adam and Demi are joining us today, but we can go ahead and jump into the conversation.
Where's my call out?
I mean, you want me to do a quick phone call and put them on the spot?
You mean he said he was gonna be here?
Oh, okay. Well, y'all give me just a second here. Let me make a quick phone call. Darius, I should make you do it since you calling them out. And I'm putting them on speaker.
Where you
No,
at?
dudes, your nephew calling you out, man. We on live right now, so
Okay, I started to ask you what time I'm driving right now. I'm on my way to my classmate house. What I gotta do, go to y'all stage.
yeah, we on live right now. You can just ask to join the live.
Give me a second, let I'm driving.
I bet. All right. All right, Darius. So you heard him, but we gonna go ahead and jump into the conversation. Um, I guess the first question I have for everybody is, what does resilience look like to you?
Mm.
Oh well.
You want me to jump in?
Go
Kaylee,
ahead.
self-control.
You said what? It's self-control?
That's what Kaylee says.
But what do you say?
I agree. At the same time, I mean, how big of a punch can you take? Pretty much, like say something happens to you, how are you gonna respond to it? You can just gonna dwell on it. You're gonna charge it to the game, treat it as a lesson learned, and move on to the next.
So reflection.
Reflection, yeah, that's the word. Self-reflection.
Okay. Octavius, what is it to you?
Yeah. So, what I tell my boys here, young men. First of all, shout out to Brittany. I see you there. Come on. All right. What up, though? Anyway, when I tell the boys here, young men, and we raising, uh, life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% on how you respond. You dig what I'm saying? So we're gonna go through things in life. Uh, it's how you react, how you respond to it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fold, you're gonna bounce back, you're gonna get stronger from it, you're gonna get, you know what I'm saying, get better from it. You know what I'm saying? Or you're gonna struggle with that. But there's only two responses really. You're either gonna get better or you're gonna get worse. And so yeah, life is only 10% what happened to you, 90% on how you respond.
I can definitely dig it. I can definitely dig it. I know, and Darius can attest this, I've raised my kids with the concept that life is going to throw you punches. And you can either choose to let those punches break you and you can wallow in your own misery, or you can let those make you and you can use those punches as your building blocks to the greater you. So that's what resilience looks like to me. It's taking your hardships and your lessons learned from those hardships and building yourself up, leveling up to that next level. So I asked all that because today's conversation, we're talking about turning pain into power. So I guess what we need to try to discuss, like I said, in the previous seasons, we've talked about identifying the problems and identifying where some of that pain that the community experiences comes from. So with this season, we're talking about reshaping that and coming with solutions because you can't present a problem without presenting a solution. So now that we've said how resilience, what it looks like to us, how can we shape a mission for the community to turn the pain and the traumas that they go through into a strategy for success?
Well, I'm always suggest we always start at home. Okay, I mean, you can't pour out into other folks if you ain't even poured into whatever, right? So, uh, you really gotta, something like that Michael Jackson song, man in the mirror type of thing. You gotta kind of start with self. You gotta start with your family, your immediate circle of influence, and then that kind of spreads from there. You see what I'm saying? So I can't go out here talking to young kids or whatever the case may be about whatever if I'm not implementing those things in my own house.
This
You
is
feel what
true.
I'm saying? So I think that's gonna be step one. I think it's that question is really power packed because it's probably multiple layers to that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's like the beginning stage, right? You start there, and then from there you can go with other influencing people, your circle of influence at your job, or um, then you can kind of go out into the community or what have you. You know what I'm saying? But I do think it does start at the home.
I can definitely agree with that. I
Hundred
definitely
percent.
agree. Darius, you got something to add?
No, I was saying 100%. 100%.
I
Starts at
definitely
home.
agree. Um, I also have to say, to add to what you were saying, Octavius, I feel like we need to eliminate the misconceptions of power. before we can shape anything as a community, because we have a lot of people that tend to feel like power comes with control and money. Power is not just about control and money.
Power comes with what comes with power comes great responsibility.
This is true. I mean, when you have power, it's like Barry said, you have self-control, you have self-love, self-respect, self-affirmation. Like you said, Octavia, it starts at home, and home starts with self. So yes, it's nice to have money. Who doesn't like money? You know, yes, it's nice to be in control of yourself and your life, not so much others, because a lot of people tend to think that power is being in control of others as well. But when you experience power from pain, from struggle, that power has nothing to do with money. So we need to eliminate that misconception.
Adam said Spider-Man. Spider-Man's hella powerful.
Wait, what?
Adam said Spider-Man.
Oh Lord. Okay, well, I'm not sure where that one came from. Hold on, y'all give me 1 second. I'm sorry.
No, but you're right though. It doesn't have anything really to do with money. It's usually a level of influence. And so
Sorry,
like
y'all. My MacBook
let's
is being stupid.
okay. No, I was trying to continue the conversation while you were doing
Go
that.
right ahead.
But it doesn't really have anything to do with money. Let me prove my point, right? We can go back to grade school. There was always somebody in your class that just everybody flocked to. It
Mm-hmm.
had nothing to do with money. You think everybody broke it when you're young. You know what I'm saying? You kids, everybody broke. Yeah, maybe their parents might have a little extra resources or whatever the case may be, but technically that wasn't about money. That was about just having that circle, that influence, to get people to come together, to get people to, follow a particular trend. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. I don't know. For instance, who influenced you to get ear piercings, or nose piercing, right? Somebody influenced you to do that. You saw somebody, you're like, man. Now
Me,
I know for me, it was Michael Jordan. Hold on, it was Michael Jordan and Theo Huxtable. Come on.
He went back with the Theo Lord.
like for me, I don't know. Like I was always like, especially throughout high school, I wasn't necessarily the most popular, but I always had a flock that hung around me. And then, but also like throughout high school, I was also that one weird kid that had piercings and shit like that.
But you saw somebody before you do that. I mean, you may have been the trendsetter in your area, in your circle of influence, but you saw somebody with that same type of piercing or
Throughout
similar.
high school, I was getting called Dennis Rodman the whole time.
There's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new under the sun.
Y'all, I'm trying to add Adam in.
Oh, you
Okay,
did?
there you go. There you go.
What up?
Hey,
My
Adam.
bad. What up? I got to pick up my mom from the airport, so I'm always on the move.
No,
Yeah.
no worries. No
I'm
worries.
gonna
I
have to be on
mean,
the move here myself too.
I'm
Right.
glad you could join us today. Did you have anything to add to what we've talked about thus far?
Y'all pretty much just hit it on the head. But like I said, the Spider-Man quote: "Great power comes great responsibility."
That's true. That's very, very true. So, okay. So we're saying that there's misconceptions about power based off of everything that everybody has just said. So when we take pain and add it into the equation, do we feel like communities are misunderstanding pain versus power, or are they just minimizing it?
I think they all work together. So I'm gonna combine a few episodes real quick and just when we start talking about wealth, generational wealth, and then pain and power, all of that coincides together. You see what I'm saying? You know, it's a very small percentage of people hitting the lottery and things of that nature. You dig what I'm saying? But particularly when you start talking about wealth, you done been through some things, and that may not even be your first business. That may not have been your first go at it. You dig what I'm saying? You may have had a bankruptcy. You may have had some struggles or a divorce or whatever, where you lose half. You know what I'm saying?
I was
Half your coins. You dig what I'm saying?
about some type of pain.
But you don't went through some things, you didn't experience some things, and that's why you see most times older people have that them grades. You got a little wisdom. You dig what I'm saying?
Hey, I love my grades.
But you earned those. You earned them.
That
First
part.
of all, you got up every morning and you said good morning, and then you swung that axe like anybody else. You know what I'm saying? And so you've been through the highs and the lows, and the lows and the highs, and you kind of along the way you kind of figure it all out. But that's what comes with that power. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because now you have the self control, the discipline, the know how, the resilience. You see what I'm saying? To survive the storm and not cave in, because you know the storm gonna pass.
right.
Brittany has to repeat the question.
What happened?
Brittany has to repeat the question.
Okay, Brittany, I'm sorry. I didn't see your comment. Um,
Oh my bad, I must have been talking too long.
so basically the question that we have right now is turning pain into power being misunderstood or minimized by communities. So honestly, in my opinion, I feel like it's being minimized because there are so many systemic barriers that make struggle so much heavier for especially the under-resourced communities. You know, I feel like it's truly being minimized. It's being swept under the rug. It's like those underserved communities are expected to just stay in the struggle. You know, it's crazy work to me. I mean, I might be looking at it wrong, but I seriously feel like it's being minimized. So, um, but basically, you know, it's like I said earlier, you have to kind of take what life throws at you, and you can either sit there and let it break you, or you can use it to let it make you. It's really a choice that we all have. Yes, we're going to fail sometimes. Failure is a part of the process. But pain is not necessarily proof of failure. It's evidence that we can endure, we can overcome. So we just gotta push through it. Like I said, there's a seed in every struggle. With all pain, there's something that we have to take from that, and we gotta plant that and water it. Do y'all agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely agree. It kind of lines up with my pastor was preaching on this today, talking about some end time stuff. But here with the Daniel 12 and 10, and it talks about you being cleansed and refined and through trials.
Yes,
Because
yes.
that's I mean I gave you book chapter and verse on that one. Go if you read it in the New Living Translation, it's really clear, it's really plain. But it's without the dust, thou, and all that other stuff, right? Okay, but we are cleansed and refined through trials. I'm summarizing that, but yeah, like that you got to go through some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Struggle
so
it's not a setback. It's not a setback at all. It's a sign, it's a signal that you're ready to rise. You're ready to level up.
it's a reason why they call it resistance training. You use the rubber bands, or you use you use weights and stuff like that. You're pushing yourself to go to another level. You dig what I'm saying? You got to get that. You got to get up those 245s so you can add another 35 on the end next time. You dig what I'm saying? But you got to
Yeah,
go through those two first, right? You know what I'm saying?
right,
Well,
right.
depending on where you at, you might have to start off with the bar. Don't matter. You know what I'm saying? You start off with where you at, and then you build from there. But you got to start somewhere. And so that's the reason why they call it resistance training.
Okay, now I'm gonna take one of Adam's favorite topics and throw in the red pill. How do we honor pain without letting it define us? You just explained what you got to do, but how do we pay homage to pain without letting it define us?
Is that for me or for Adam?
That's for everybody.
I'm kind of been talking a lot, so Adam, Darius.
Shit. You said how can we repeat the question?
How can we pay homage to pain without letting it define us? So Octavia just kind of explained, those starting baby steps that you need to do, but it's very easy to fall into the trap of pain of, letting it define you. So how do we overcome pain without letting it define who we are?
Charge to the game tree. There's a lesson learned. It's all a lesson. What did you learn from this scenario?
That's a great question because we, as a people, as African American people, have automatically been in pain for the last 400 years, if we know it or not.
Yep.
We're really just recovering from, slavery. And Jim Crow wasn't that long ago. That's the 60s. So we've been living in pain since then, and we're still feeling the residuals of pain. So as African Americans, it is tough to get out of that mentality that we've been put into from other people. So to say that we can, get away from that, it's really tough. It's really tough because I think it's something that we have to turn into power at all times because really that is a, I don't know, I'm trying to think of the word. That is part of being an African American person.
But also, I mean, gotta get over the pain. There's those people that just can't get over the pain.
Okay, that right there, basically what you're saying is we have to experience emotional healing. We have to become vulnerable.
Yep.
We have to allow ourselves to experience growth
Yep.
and not contain ourselves in a box. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Now here's another kicker. The Black community has been taught for generations to suppress that vulnerability. How do we overcome that?
Shit, honestly, that's that suppression shit's kind of out the window nowadays.
Say that again.
That suppression shit's kind of getting thrown out the window nowadays
How you figure that?
because there's so many. Well, I don't know. It really depends on where you are and how shit's moving around you. Because there's also what I was about to say. I just realized. I mean, not many people have those resources, but there's ways, a lot of ways, healthy ways to get over pain. People just don't know those ways to get to it.
But you just said a very key word. You said healthy. So that means being in tune emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. In order to be healthy, you got to be in tune with all those things. So as a community, we have to learn how to no longer suppress all of those things. We have to share the stories of ourselves and our ancestors because that's like medicine. That's the medicine to a cold. We have the cure. We just have to open our eyes to it. We have to come together as a community and create this healing container and share the wealth, basically. That's the best way for me to put that. So basically, in my opinion, turning pain into power is through healing because we're not forgetting. We're communicating and we're reframing. What do y'all say about that?
Yeah,
Well,
I think you hit it on the nail. Hit the
I
head,
was just about to say that.
nail on the head. I think what I was going to say was you definitely need to acknowledge that it is pain. That's the reason why there's a word called ouch. Um, that's acknowledging the pain, right? You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to acknowledge it. Um, and then I think there through that healing process, after the acknowledgement of that pain, you have to you go through a healing process. I think a moment of reflection. How did we end up here, or how did I end up here? If you talk about self accountability, right? Because things didn't just happen. You know what I'm saying? That there were some things that we probably may have ignored, or whatever the case may be. And I'm speaking generally because different situations calls for different whatever. But a time for reflection. That's
Hmm.
part of the healing journey, right? And then from there, um, as you are healing, I think that it is good to remember what got you here, and then you can move forward from there. But you definitely have to acknowledge, reflect, and then uh, share that information to the next generation, etc. As far as the suppression part, I think a lot what Darius was saying that's going out the window. This generation acknowledge they feelings like they, they definitely acknowledge that. But hey, listen, they gonna acknowledge feelings, boy.
That
God
part.
dang. But no, seriously though. But yeah, I mean, at least that's been my experience. So I think we gonna talk about feelings.
Well, I agree with everything that y'all said thus far. Me personally, we kind of segued into what the next question was going to be was, what does it look like to build a plan from a place of struggle? Me personally, as I said earlier, it starts with self, and it should always be a me versus me mentality. That's kind of how I look at it.
It
You
is because you're
always
your own worst enemy.
you are your own worst enemy. You are your own worst critic, and you also want to live every day as a better image than you were the day before.
I'm
So
not gonna lie, one of the hardest things I've done was play chess against myself fairly.
yeah, it's kind of hard to get outside of your own head, but when you have a me versus me mentality, it kind of forces you, like you said, Octavius, to look at that man in the mirror. It forces you to do that, and it forces you to unpackage all the pain, all the trauma. It forces you to ask the question, how did I get here? Why did I get here? What did I miss? What did
What's
I
good,
not
Demi?
do?
Gang.
What's that?
Demi's here.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Well, Demi, we're gonna have to switch out with you, but it's good to have you on. While
Well,
we
look,
got
if anything, I could swap out with him.
okay, if you wanna
I was about to
drop
say
in.
I can swap because I'm driving too. So
Okay. I mean
I'm
whoever
about to
wanna swap
start
out
driving,
with us,
whichever.
that's cool. But
Which,
we'll go ahead and keep the conversation going.
whichever.
Adam, you gonna drop or Darius? Which
yeah,
one?
I'm gonna drop right quick, but I'm gonna stay in the chat.
All right, that's cool. Demi, give me 1 second and I'll bring you on. All right. All right, Demi. You being added. But
Probably about to go inside and change into some nicer clothes because Kaylee talking about going to eat.
I don't know what happened to Demi. But okay, but back to the conversation. So yeah, I feel like it's the me versus me mentality. Um, I guess some things that people could do to get into that mentality and to just kind of learn how to unpack things, I would say seek out a mentor. You know, if you're going through something and you know somebody that has been through it, there's nothing wrong with reaching out to somebody for help. or just to have somebody to talk to. Hey, damn it, what's good with you?
What up? What up? It's
Do
a
you
good
have anything to add thus far to what we've been talking about?
man. Listen, man. I've been fighting with this all fucking since me versus me. This is what I came in on. Me versus me. And look, man. It ain't
Speak on
nothing.
it.
It ain't nothing worse than being your own worst enemy. But then again, it keeps you humble, right?
This is true.
Right? Because then at the same time, you can't nobody really tell me nothing that I ain't already told myself. It just hurt a little different when it's coming from some certain people. I be like, God
That's
damn.
a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, but one thing I did hear today that this might help somebody. They say stay away from people that don't acknowledge your achievements, but always acknowledge like your downfalls. You know what I'm saying? Cause we achieve shit every day, but we also fuck up every day. So look, can you let me down easy? God damn.
Yeah, but also I want people to let me know when I'm fucking up.
No, I do, but it's just
But that
I
ain't
need
the
you to
only
let
time
me
I
know
want
when
to
I'm
hear
doing
from you, though.
good too, cause I do more good than I do bad. You feel me?
Yeah.
I
She
know
basically
that
talking
for a
about the
damn sure.
negative Nancy's.
Yeah, I do that
The
for a
Debbie
damn sure. I
Downers.
know that. So it's like, hey, I did 3 things good yesterday. I fucked up once, and then you call you. Here we are, yes, tomorrow, and we still bringing up. What about the good shit, bro? So it's nothing wrong, but when you know you do good things that you should be appreciated for, and they don't point them out, but be real quick to be like, "Hey, you fucking up." That's not
Yeah.
true. You feel me?
Yeah, that one hit a little different.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
here's what I gotta say to that. We can only expect one thing out of people in life, and that's for people to be people.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't expect people to be nothing more or nothing less, just people.
Right.
So that right there is a big reason why I say we gotta be in that me versus me mentality. We shouldn't be in competition with nobody else.
Nobody but yourself.
That part. That
Like I
part.
used to say, when people be like, "So what's up?" I'm like, "Man, I'm just being me. I don't know how to be nobody else. Shit.
Yep.
I don't know
And
how to
I
be nobody
mean,
else. I don't even like dressing like people. I go out and see somebody in a shirt that I was gonna wear, and I be like, I'm glad I didn't wear that though. I
you
like being me.
basically you have to find your purpose in order to overcome pain and turn your struggle into power. You gotta find your purpose. It's not just something that's gonna be sitting right there in front of you. You gotta put in the work. You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna have to crawl through the flames, before you can actually figure out what that purpose is. But once you figure out what it is, man, it's like ding, your whole outlook changes, your whole world changes. You start to see certain things that before was it was there, but it just wasn't clear to you.
Mm-hmm.
You start to have what they call clarity. You start to experience that peace, but you do definitely have to go through the struggle before you can find it. I've always told my kids anything that comes easy ain't worth having at all.
Hell
So
yeah. That's facts.
yeah,
You learn that later on. A lot of them cliches make a whole lot of sense when you get to 46. For real.
And you
I
yeah,
usually
tell
keep it
people all the
longer when
time,
you
my
go
mama
through
told
some
me nothing in this
things,
world comes free.
when it's not
What
just given to you.
what you say?
You usually keep it longer when you have to work for it or
Hell
go through
yeah.
some
You
things
appreciate
before
it
you get
more.
there. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Yeah, you
take care of
appreciate
it.
it more.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
yes, sir.
I mean,
And
to an extent you appreciate something that somebody gave you, but it depends on how
Not the
bad you want
same.
it. You know?
Listen,
Now
this
if
is
it
true.
yeah, if
it's
it
just
if it's something that you really, really wanted and somebody got you, you're gonna cherish it. Now I will say if it's just somebody say, "Here, I got this for you," you be like, "Oh, thank you," but you just don't cherish it as much. You throw it to the wayside. My girl got a Michael Kors a Michael Kors. Yeah, I'm bringing it up. I don't care if she see it. She got a Michael Kors damn what's it called, fanny pack. I bought this motherfucker 4 years ago. She still ain't used it. I bought it for a trail ride. You know how many trail rides you been
Thank you for
to?
Oh
proving
no,
what we saying to be
don't look
true.
at me all guilty.
Yeah, hit his ass again. Hit him
Thank you
again.
for proving what we saying to be true.
Hit his ass again. Cause it's like, come on, man. I thought that's what you really wanted. I guess not. So I found it out.
Mm-hmm.
When I shop at
What's
Mm-hmm.
that?
Lowe's,
What's
get
that
what you
saying?
like.
What's that saying? Easy come, easy go.
Right.
There you
I'm
go.
like, and I'm ready to put that bitch on Poshmark or something. She told me, you better not. You bought that for me. Yeah, but so what? You ain't
I'm
used it.
ready to take that thing from off the what?
Yeah, I'm ready to take it
Clearance
back.
prices now.
I know it's probably
Four
worth something
seasons
now.
ago.
Exactly, 4 seasons ago. Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing I do have to say about finding your purpose, turning pain into power, going through the struggle and everything, don't get stuck in survival mode. Go ahead, Octavius. Go ahead. I know you want to speak on it.
No. I'm agreeing with you. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, but what if surviving is all you knew? Oh no.
There's a better way.
There
You gotta
is
go through the survival mode for sure. Just don't get stuck in it.
For a
Like
season,
track,
yeah.
track. You gotta
She
hop
said
off the
don't get
horse.
stuck there though.
that
You
part.
see what I'm saying? Don't get stuck there.
Don't get stuck there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get stuck there.
Don't be fight or flight.
What's
Don't
that?
let.
Fight or flight?
Hey,
Fight or flight.
Since Adam not here with the red pill, let me go. No.
Man, listen.
Let me force this down your throat real quick. Hey,
I mean, it's easy to get stuck in survival mode. It really is, and we've all been there. We have all been there before. It's just don't stay stuck in there because once you get stuck in survival mode, whether you realize it or not, you keep digging yourself this hole that's deeper and deeper and deeper till you just can't get up out of it.
Facts.
And that's
But
not a place anybody wants to be.
well, I can say from my personal experience, it depends on situation. Depends on situation when you might want to stay in, because I've been a place where you might want to stay in survival mode. You get caught slipping, you might not make it out. You feel me? But
But when we talk
but
about
but
turning pain into power, though, you don't want to get stuck in survival mode in that notion.
right, that's true. That's true. You gotta have a turning point in somewhere.
You
You gotta
do.
have a turning point.
You definitely do.
yeah,
So,
in that situation, you take that pain and as we talk about turning pain into power, then you realize and say, I do have the power to stay around this area or not. I have the power to if you're battling, if you're battling your weight, you got the power to push yourself away from the table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have the power to do so. You know what I'm saying? You have the power to go to the gym or whatever the case. You
Yeah.
have the power to actually save, or you could be impulsive and, you know, buy everything you got in your shopping cart on Temu. You know what I'm saying? You have the power to do those things. You dig what I'm saying? And
Right.
so don't negate your power to cause change in your life in that situation. I'll digress.
Yeah.
I see Marie giving. I'm gonna give a shout out to Marie on here.
Hey, Marie.
Adam
What's
dropped
up,
off the
Marie?
video, but he's still in the comments. So Adam Marie says hi. Um, but yeah, back to the conversation. Um, I think one of the best ways to avoid getting stuck in survival mode, share your testimony. You got to share your testimony because you never know who is going through the same thing you're going through.
Right.
You never know whose soul, whose life you're going to touch just by giving your testimony.
Yeah, that's true.
Go
Cause one
ahead,
of my
Octavius.
I want to make sure I heard you correctly. So you're saying to help someone else that would and ultimately help you.
yeah, help you help yourself.
Yep.
And now, see, in a church house, they would say, "Sow a seed to meet your need."
I already sold my seed, Cap.
See what
So
I'm saying? But yeah,
nah, but I
yeah. So
get
I'm
it.
just saying that's that's a basic principle. However you apply it, it's a principle. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
2 plus 2 always equals 4. I don't care how you say it. You can say 2 plus 2 equals 4. 2 plus, you know, 3 plus 1, 1 plus 3. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. It's all equals 4. I love it.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
love it.
your story is a blueprint. It is a blueprint because what do they say? History repeats itself. So your story is a blueprint. I mean, point blank, period. And we have to allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to step into leadership when it comes to giving our testimony. Adam says you can't help nobody if you ain't been helped.
Facts.
This is very, very
You
true.
also can't help nobody who don't want to be helped.
Well,
That
hold
too.
on. We've all had opportunities to get help. We may have rejected it.
Right. But that's
Yeah.
because it
You
probably
dig what I'm saying?
wasn't coming from a person or a place that you know. I mean, sometimes we can get it wrong too.
That's
Yeah,
true. I'm gonna share this real quick, real quick. My first marriage, it was this one dude, man. He was drunk in the mug. I mean, his eyes was glassy, slurred speech, and everything. And I never forget this because he was telling me it takes 2 mules to pull that wagon.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him like, man, get your drunk ass. You know what I'm saying? He say
Yeah.
it takes 2 mules to pull that wagon. But what he was really saying though, in layman's terms, was he saw me carrying I was carrying dead weight.
Yeah.
So I rejected that and didn't take heed to it, and then I had to live with the consequences of that. You dig what I'm saying? Through divorce, heartbreak, the whole
It's
nine,
just
right?
like that
Right.
saying that I say all the. I mean,
But
I like to say it all the time. It
I
takes
was
two to
given
tango.
help. He just said it in a metaphoric way.
Well, look, this is the thing right here, and you should know this too, because this is also the Bible.
hold on
Sometimes
for
you
a
got
second,
you.
y'all. I'm gonna shout out Mr. Smith. Thank you for
What's
joining
up,
us.
Mr.
Hope you
Smith?
are doing well today.
Sometimes
Um,
you
but
got to be careful who you know how you talk to people that you don't know. You might be entertaining an angel, and it sounded like he was a drunk angel. He's a drunk.
Hey,
Hey,
hey, and I love him to
sometimes it
life
be
though.
like that,
I love him to life. We still talk and communicate to
right?
this
And
day.
you had to go to that man and tell him, you know what? I didn't understand the metaphor, but I found out, and I appreciate
Exactly.
you. So
And,
now I'm
and,
listening.
and guess what? I'm better in my second marriage.
there you
I
go.
mean, you know,
See, I mean, that just speaks to the fact that when we
right?
speak our truth, we break the silence. And when we break the silence, we break the chains.
And look, check this out real quick, because before I forget again, just not too long ago, I had made a post. I don't know if you've seen it, but I stated that I need to take time to get to know me, because I've always devoted my life to other people. It's always been like that. I'm like, I need to sit back and focus on me but then I also noticed that when I was incarcerated, I had a lot of time to think. That's a timeout. Hopefully, it's a timeout. For some people, it's eternity, but for most times, be a timeout. So it was my timeout to think, but it also hardened me. So when I came home different, and a lot of people noticed that. But the point that I'm making is that helped explain a lot to people that noticed that I have changed a little bit. That was my testimony. That was me actually just saying it. This is what
Yeah,
Christ, it ain't you, it's me. All right. And then it also, I had a lot of people come my inbox and on my thing, they was like, I never even put it into perspective like that. That's me. Like they've literally been either recently came home or came home not too long ago, and they just like their mindset is a little different and they don't know why. And I was like, I don't know why now. I'm just taking you to the water. I can't make you drink because shit, I'm trying to figure out how to drink shit myself. But it was kind of like a testimony that actually seemed like it helped at least 4 people that I know of.
Yeah,
And
like
then
Adam said, Adam just said no gatekeeping. That's, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
and I mean you can't be shamed. I never been really just shamed because I know of who I was gonna be after I came home, and I understood why I went. And, you can't just look at me. Oh, you went. You've been. Yeah, but you know my story. Because if you sit down and you know my story, you understand why. Okay. So
Yeah.
with that being said, yeah, you can't like that's a form of gatekeeping. Like, just like Adam can tell a story about being in the NFL. Like, remember he was schooling us that one time?
Yep.
We don't know that shit.
Yep.
And who knows? Somebody might listen and be like, damn, okay, so I see that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. At that's just it. That you can overcome, you can beat the odds, and you don't have to go into this run where you just don't want to be here no more and all that. Because, I mean, everybody been there too, but that ain't never the devil talking to you.
Man, listen. As I've said before in other episodes, just a couple years ago, I found myself down the deepest, darkest rabbit hole you
Right.
could ever find yourself in. And I didn't even realize just how bad off I was. It took somebody else sharing their testimony, sharing their energy. It took somebody else pouring into me. It took
Mm-hmm.
somebody helping me to realize how bad off I was, to realize I wasn't in me versus me mindset. I was in straight survival mode. And it did not
Understandable.
feel good. It didn't feel good at all. I was relying on that struggle daily, and it was just taking me further and further down.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, when we can come together and we can turn our words into wisdom and we can turn that wisdom into wealth, I mean, that's a kind of power that it can't be taken from nobody. So yeah, the gatekeeping, that gotta cease. The
Yep.
relying on the struggle, thinking that the struggle is all you got,
Got
that gotta
yeah.
cease. Once you change your mindset, everything else in your world changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you
True.
ain't lying. Cause
You just
for a
gotta make
long,
that choice.
I'm a late bloomer, and you know me. I'm late blooming. I'm blooming late, and I know now that it's growing pains are for real. Because
Yeah,
especially when you start getting them later on in life, shit that you're supposed to experience in your 20s, you're experiencing now. Like my first car, somebody just hit it and totaled my shit out. I didn't even have a
damn.
chance to total my own car out. I was supposed to have been experienced losing my first car. I experienced it at what 44. Yeah, ouch. Think they hit different. Your morals and your mindset is like, why would you do that to me? So when you 20, you like that too, but then you like, oh, it's okay, I'll get another car. But at 40, I'm like, you know how hard? Okay, never mind, y'all. You know what I'm saying. But it took me at this late blooming stage to realize my actual worth. Like, I've been to it. My mommy was so cold on me with shit. I do something cool or something talented. She'd just look at me and shake her head like, what a waste. And I thought she was just talking shit, which she was. But I wish she would have really went into detail about it, and just because a word from her would have changed everything. If she would just been like, what I see in you is greatness, and you really can accomplish anything you set your mind to. And I would have, of course, she probably tell me a couple times, but she just was just in so many words, what a waste. But now I know what she meant, because now everything I touch, everything I literally try to just literally focus in and put my mind to, I'm good at it. But I've been telling myself, or had been telling myself for so long, I think it was scared of rejection. Like, oh no, don't do that because you ain't gonna be good at that. You just not gonna be good at that. Just don't even try it because it's gonna put you in a
So how would
rut.
you know if you don't try?
I know now. Back then, everybody used to tell me that shit. You'll never know until you try. You gotta go out on a limb. I was scared as hell of that limb. The heights of life. I was scared to go out there and find out, like, what if I fall? I might not fall away into the pit, but I'm gonna fall damn close and it's gonna scare the hell out of me. That's where I'm at now.
Yeah, and
See,
you'll
your
know
young,
what to do and what not to do.
yeah, but your young old man right there, in a sense, is more mature than me. Cause he's been doing this shit, and then he's still young. Like, you
Well,
know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah,
that's
don't
not
don't
really a
don't.
choice that he had though, because I mean, I had him at a young age, so we
Right,
basically had
right.
to grow up together.
I sent you something on Instagram about that too.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I
You
didn't get a
seen
chance to
that?
reply.
Like, you gonna be 50. Look, you gonna be 30 before she 50. So yeah, y'all got both getting old together. So that's what's up. No, but that's cool. That's cool because look at him. He's a cool dude. You know how many people out here who have done that and their child is in the penitentiary, or their child is doing this and their child doing that. You know, they got a lot of kids. From I'm not you know I'm not okay, but you know. They did they you know they got it confused. So at some point, I mean, because I know his
Yeah.
daddy. That's all you right there. You did that.
Well, I do appreciate that. I do. I did what I could. But you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of glad that I did kind of have my kids early on because
Cause
I
now you
wouldn't
can
have
live
been
your best
sitting on
life now
nobody
too.
beach last weekend sipping on
Oh
some
girl,
pina
she get on my
coladas.
nerves. She gonna send me pictures talking about y'all need to come. Y'all need girl, leave me alone.
Man,
First thing
you
I
can't.
did, look, right after we got off the phone. Oh, right after we got off, you know what I'm saying? I started Googling, can I get my passport now? And it said I could. They said shit, go try it. So I said, bet. That goes right here, right now. I ain't gonna think twice about it. I'm finna just try it. Like all they do is tell me no, you gotta
What's
wait.
the worst they can say?
Right?
And
So
you know you got your travel advisor right here, so shit, I'm
oh
ready to
yeah,
plan that
so
next trip.
go ahead and put that little plug in there. You got the travel advisor. And remember I need that Chicago pick too.
I got you. I got you as soon as we get up off of here. But
Okay.
we are running kind of short on time for today, so I'm gonna ask everybody what is one action or step that listeners can take this week to turn their pain into power.
and you want to
No, go. You like you ready. I'm thinking.
Oh
Go
damn, Darius went and put the hat on.
ahead.
look at them. No, I would.
Why you
I'll start
switched
it
up?
off. I'll start it off. One action that everyone can take. I'm gonna just say, the acknowledgement of the pain. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
acknowledge your pain.
Right.
Acknowledge what it is that you're maybe struggling with or still dealing with or whatever the case may be. Uh, and then at least that would be the first thing I would say you could do this week. Acknowledge it, accept it, feel it. Whatever you need to do there. Like I said, and then just kind of reflect and how did that make me feel? How did that make me, what did that make me want to do? Don't do it. Just
Right,
what did
right.
it make me want to do? Okay, and then
Mm-hmm.
go from just the reflection stage where you reflect on how you got there, or what was it, and it's not
Right.
saying that this is your fault neither. Just could
No.
have been. That's just the thing that you have to go through, and so just reflect, just acknowledge the pain.
Demi?
Well, I'm gonna piggyback off of him, and I'm gonna say a phrase that I've said before. You gotta learn how to live upside down, so you can learn how to live right side up.
Like it.
Facts.
I like it.
Facts.
You just
Darius, you on mute,
you're
kid.
on mute, fly guy.
Shit, my fault, my fault. But y'all saw I pulled out the cup. Or should I even pull out the K Swiss today? What y'all talking about?
Hold
Oh
on, hold
shit.
on. I got to pause real quick. Octavius Jimmy, y'all already know who his daddy is. Please tell me that that's all y'all see right now, because that's all
Right
I see
now,
right
that's
now.
all I've seen when he put the damn hat on from that angle. I'm like, oh Lord, this nigga.
Okay, my bad, son, my bad.
Them
But go
damn
ahead.
cheeks.
What was you saying?
Them cheeks.
Yeah, but just piggyback off of what they said. Let that shit go. Treat that shit as a lesson learned. Charge it to the game. Move on to the next. Shit's gonna happen regardless.
Life is gonna life, period. So I'm gonna flip it around a little bit, and I'm gonna ask, what's one word of encouragement for people that are still in the struggle? They haven't
Pray.
quite gotten to that acknowledgement stage yet. They're not ready for that. They're still
Pray.
in the midst of the struggle.
Pray.
What's a word of encouragement you could give to those
Pray.
people?
I'ma steal it out. I'm stealing it out. Pray. Hit them knees. You don't even gotta hit them knees. Just close your eyes and talk to them. You ain't gotta say it out loud. Just pray. Have a real conversation. Just try not to cuss. But even if you do, you know your heart. But pray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely can dig it. One word of encouragement I can give is gets better. It gets better. So it just keep looking forward. It may not seem like there's light at the end of the tunnel.
There's always a lot of things at the time.
Yeah, you have to crawl through the pile of shit. You have
Mm-hmm.
to before you can come out smelling like roses.
When you start approaching that light is when you look back and be like, damn, I was in some shit. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
coming
Yep.
out of it.
I would say this too shall pass. And I know it may sound cliche, but even right now it's raining outside or whatnot, but this storm gonna pass, right?
Yeah,
It'll
that's it.
eventually pass through. You know, if you broke a bone, eventually the pain passes, the bone actually heals. You know, this too
Go.
shall pass. And give it time.
It'll be all over in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all know me and my poetry. I wrote a little piece to
Come
close
Uh-oh.
us
on.
out with.
We're gonna have to get you on the track then.
Good. Oh,
Pain
My
is not the
creative juices
end.
just flowing.
It is the invitation to rise, to rebuild, to reclaim. Today we turn struggle into strategy and wounds into wisdom. May your pain become your power, and may your power become your purpose. So that is today's episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next
period.
week, we got a huge episode next week. It is our season
Uh-oh.
finale.
Damn,
Man, can y'all
already?
believe we already at the end of season 3, man? Can y'all believe that
Hey,
shit?
man.
Come on.
I done missed a little bit, but I was in a
Come
rush.
on.
I mean, damn. But next week is the anticipated hot seat. So for all of our watchers, listeners, viewers, however you want to see yourselves, be prepared. Come with questions next week. And we will be dropping a poll later on today for y'all to choose
Oh, here
which
we
two
go.
panelists will be in the hot seat next
I
week.
was in there
Uh-oh.
last time, so y'all can't put me in there. That automatically means somebody
Nice.
else.
Hey, if that's what the people want, that's what they're
Nah, the
going
people don't
to
want that. The people
Yeah.
get.
don't want that. Not at all.
Just know all the panelists better be ready because it is no holds barred. They can
Man.
ask whatever they want to ask, and we
Oh
got
my
an answer.
goodness.
Yep.
Wow.
So
I'm with it. I'm with it.
Man, somebody cooking. It smells
I'm
good.
with it. I want all the smoke.
Want
uh-oh,
all of the
sound like we
smoke.
volunteering ourselves there, huh?
Yeah, right?
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Hey,
Sound
it
like
sound like you
Well,
volunteer that tribute.
does anybody have any closing words that they would like to share before we hop off?
Love yourself. Plain and simple. Just love yourself.
Yeah, I agree. I
All
agree.
right.
And
Hey.
keep God first.
All
Facts.
right.
Yeah. Pain is temporary.
I love it. I love it. I love
Pain
it.
is always temporary, but you will go through that shit. That's inevitable.
Yeah, I don't think we can avoid it.
Yeah.
We can't. Nothing is ever perfect. And if it is
But it's
perfect,
all,
it ain't worth it.
and sometimes it be up to us how long we endure
There
It
you
really
go.
is all up to you.
it.
It is all up to you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have choices. We have something called free will.
Why you
But
making that face?
I'm just
what happened?
I'm agreeing 100%. I was just like, ooh.
Ooh, ooh,
That was
that was
my
an
little
ouch moment.
that was my little Wayne. Ooh. Oh
That
no.
was that was an outsider. That was an
Now, y'all
outsider.
don't forget, if you missed any of the episodes of season 1 and season 2, y'all can go catch those on our Instagram page, Just the Tip 2025. If you missed any episodes of this season, minus episode 1, you can catch those on YouTube on our Just the Tip page. Um, just keep on loving on us like we loving on y'all, and we gonna keep pushing these things out for y'all. But we do thank everybody that has tuned in this episode, this season, just period. We really appreciate y'all, and we look
Facts.
forward to seeing
Facts.
everybody next week.
Hey, I'm chunking the deuce.